Well, 2013, the year after the London Olympics, Jürgen Grobe focused on the men's 8 as his top boat. And he did that because he had the depth of athletes returning from the Olympics the previous year. This time around, things are very different. By his own admission, Jürgen has said it's the weakest post-Olympic team that he has dealt with. That's why they're focusing rather than the 8 on the 4. And today we have a top 4, but we've got Callum McBriarty subbing for Great Britain in the bow seat for the injured Stuart Innes. But nevertheless, the British crew will be looking to lay down a massive marker here. The only crew returning from the Olympic final of last year. Netherlands 1 up in lane 2, Russia 2 in lane 2, Netherlands 2 in 3, Spain on the other side closest to us in 5, and Russia 1 in lane number 6. So James, the Jürgen is back to the boat that he's most comfortable with, the 4.
Yeah, it's certainly one he's got since he's been in Britain. Either the men's pair with Gregor Pinsent or Pinsent myself he's had success with, but the men's 4 has been the one consistent. But the reality is, actually, since the New Zealand pair retired, who were dominated for the last 2 Olympics, is that all boat classes are open, whereas the pair, you thought, okay, your best 2 athletes in the world are probably going to lose to the New Zealanders, whereas here in the 4 he thinks, right, this is our marker, we'll see what we can do.
So going through the first timing mark, this quarter of the race down, 500 is Spain from Great Britain, no alarm. Okay, this is all right, this is okay.
It's no, when you say no alarm, Gary, I cannot remember a Spanish 4 leading a British 4 ever.
I hear you, and I agree with you.
They've just gone through them now, but
just in this context, yeah, in the context of this regatta, they've had a slow first 500 in all the races through the regatta so far. They still need to get the power application right in the first 500 because they know they've got the power, endurance, and the speed in the middle 1,000. But that said, the Russians also, we've got Netherlands in lane 3, up there in lane number 2, Russia 2. It's still quite close, but James, you would expect, I mean, you never expect anything, but
I would expect a British 4 to give a Spanish 4 a kicking in the first 100 metres, irrespective of that the Spanish 4's being quick off and our boys haven't, you know, and that's because that is a demonstration of raw boat speed, and that's what, look back for the successful 4s of the past, they may not have had pace in the middle, but they've had raw boat speed, and that's what I guess Jürgen's trying to juggle with now. He's got 2 phenomenally gifted athletes in Sahibi and Sach, and it's a case of finding the right combination to put them in with.
Being pushed hard though by just a foot or so ahead. Great Britain's McBriarty, Tarrant, Sabihi and Sach. Netherlands 2 sitting up in lane number 3. We're coming to the halfway mark. Let's check what's happened in that second 500. Great Britain go through in first. This time they're leading by a foot over Netherlands. Spain just slipping back from first and 500 back to third now in a bronze medal position into the third 500. But this Dutch second crew, they were 5th at the Olympic Games last year. So, you know, well off the pace of what was one of the most outstanding British crews, Gregory, Sabihi, Nash and Loulis, with all due respect in sort of modern times to my friend on the right here.
No, that 4 was faster than any 4 I was in, by far. They were a real class outfit.
We're sitting here, and they were obviously Olympic champions. Well, the Netherlands were 5th in that race here. That crew is putting significant pressure against the British crew. It's kind of like on it about a foot and a half. You see the bows just coming slicing through the water here. On the far side you've got Russia 2 and Spain closest to us here. It's been a long time since we've seen Spain being competitive in anything on the heavyweight side, but they're now starting to look to come off the pace. You can see on the left hand side of your screen there the rates, 37 for Spain, 37 for Great Britain. So the Russians are up there in closest with lane number 1, the highest, taking the highest number of strokes per minute at 38 here. James, comments here right now, middle of the second 500. Where would you expect this crew to be?
Sorry, it's middle of third 500.
So middle of third 500.
So they're, I would expect them to have been sitting on the bows of the Dutch, whereas actually they're just a man up on the Dutch, coming through 500 metres to go.
So 50 strokes remaining now of this men's heavyweight Coxless 4 final. Belgrade, the first World Cup regatta here. This is where the British team laid down their marker. This is the flagship boat at the moment for the men's heavyweight team here. This is the boat that will lay it out for the rest of the world. Now, will they be watching? Will Austria, Italy, South Africa, Canada, the United States of America, will they be watching this and thinking we can put something out quicker and faster, given now that the British are finally just starting to move? But it's taken 1,500 metres to do anything. We've got Will Satch sitting in the stroke seat from Leander Club here, himself an Olympic champion, backed up by Mo Sabihi, one of the strongest men out there at the moment. Molesey Boat Club at 3, Matt Tarrant from Oxford Brooks at 2, Callum McBride subbing in the bow seat. And I'm not going to make any excuses that the fact that the Great Britain crew have got a sub in this event, because such is the standard across the whole men's team in terms of the training, in terms of the money that pours into all of this. There, the Caversham base here, that these are all quality athletes. Any sub that goes in will always be a quality sub.
No, the Brits were under pressure at 500 metres and they've responded well, and they're dominating this field. But you made the comment about what would crews, what would the Australians, what would the South Africans, what would the Italians be thinking, and what they will be thinking is the Spanish haven't unearthed a gem. I thought they'd discovered 4 amazing athletes, and they'd be thinking we could beat that Spanish crew, which we may think actually that British four is not that strong. But all we can do is beat the people.
So Will Satch leads Great Britain over the line by about a half a length over Netherlands in second place, and Spain getting the bronze medal today. A good result for Spain on bronze, but all focus on Great Britain. And was that good enough? Should it have been more? A win's a win, but when you put down the fact that this is a flagship boat here, given that Jürgen has said he's inherited one of the weakest with respect to the individuals in the boat, and that's just because there are still people out there that have not announced whether they're coming back again. There's still much to be done.
We had a couple of tweaks that we had to make to our strategy for the race after our heat on Friday, because it didn't quite go the way we wanted it to go, but we executed a good enough race plan to do the job today.
I think we just need to get out of the blocks a bit harder. We found ourselves struggling through the second half of last time, and we left a lot to make up in the last 500 metres. So I think this time we just flipped it on its head, trying to give it a bit more in the first half. Don't have to make up for it so much in the second half, and I think that paid off today.
Mo Sabihi, of course, Olympic champion in the 4. I don't think it was quite the quality of the row that saw you win that Olympic gold, though.
No, definitely not the quality. Very scrappy. No, it's very scrappy, but, you know, you come away, you go to the first World Cup wanting to win, and we've come away with that and kind of a job done. And we know we've got a long way to go before we're actually going to start pumping out some very polished performances. So if you can win on bad days like today, then it's even more sweeter than what it is when you win and it's, you know, humming along nicely.
You go into those races with confidence and thinking that, you know, you can do it. It's not nice when it's not perfect, but sometimes doing it, like Mo said, on a day where it's not perfect means more, actually. So to come away with a win when it wasn't the best row, that's fine, that's good, I'm pretty happy with that.